Hi, everyone, and welcome to another installment of our guest speaker series by Moonshot Jr., where we're committed to transforming curious minds. Today, we have with us KD Gulko, who will be talking about brain health. And this is a really crucial topic, especially considering COVID-19 and how the world affairs are at the current moment. Before I hand it over to her, I'd like to talk a bit more about the Innovator Program. With a vision of transforming curious minds, we at Moonshot Jr. aspire to empower young innovators to explore entrepreneurship and innovation and provide them with a unique product development experience. The Innovator program follows a STEAM-based curriculum through and through, starting from ideating a product to understanding what resources go into making that product, and then finally launching that product on e-commerce platforms. This is the journey that you go through. It is interactive and it's outcome driven. And right now we're available in 13 countries and counting, and we focus on combining science, technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship skills throughout the Innovator program. At Moonshot Jr., apart from our other product offerings, these group sessions that you attend on weekends are organized to spark your interest and provide you with an overarching idea of STEAM-based future-forward topics like AI, robotics, arts, design, and more. And a couple instructions before we get started today. If you have any questions, please click on the raise hand icon. Alternatively, you can type your questions in the Q&A tab. If you want to ask your question directly to KD, then you can click on the microphone icon after raising your hand, and then you'll get the prompt to give your microphone access. If you've joined on a laptop or a computer, it should say audio settings on the bottom left corner. And I think that's about it. Lastly, this session is being recorded, so you can access it later on our website at www.moonshotjr.com/webinars. Yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, like I said, if you have questions, you can raise your hand or you can type it. I'll hand it over to KD now.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mahir. It's great to be here today. And I am going to share my screen with everyone. And we're going to be talking about brain health. And that's, as Mahir mentioned earlier, that is so important. Now with the effects of staying at home, with COVID, with quarantining and social distancing, it's really, really more apparent how important brain health is. Because before, you can get out frustrations and fears and things like that by interacting with your peers, and really have more opportunities to soothe yourself. Whereas now we're really seeing that it's coming out how hard this is impacting and how much your brain plays an importance in your feeling of well-being, in your happiness level, and in your productivity. So let's jump right in. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what brain health is. So brain health, according to the World Health Organization, is characterized as a good brain is a state in which individuals can realize their own abilities and optimize their cognitive, emotional, psychological, and behavioral functioning to cope with life situations. So I don't know about you, but right now, during this time, I find that things are more difficult for me. Things that I would normally have no problem with are much more difficult, more confusing, more frustrating. It's harder for me to focus, to get the things done. I feel like I'm kind of lazier. And so in order to do that, we really need to pay attention to some really important aspects of our lives in order to be able to move forward and be productive. And so COVID has definitely brought about some mental health issues within children and adolescents and adults, actually. So one of the main things is predictability. So we don't know when we're going to be able to go back to school if we're doing distance learning. We don't know when we'll be able to have regular play dates. We don't know if we're going to be able to go to camp. We don't know if we're going to be able to celebrate Christmas or the holidays with our families, extended families. It's sometimes difficult for parents to calm children's anxieties because, as a parent, maybe I have anxieties about what's going on, and children are having trouble concentrating, sleeping, or regulating emotions. And I should actually say parents too, because I know that's the thing. So here's the quiz that you guys were, Sonham was looking at questioning. So I want you to pull up the quiz. It's there. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna go back. It's going to, I would like you to select, there you go. I would like you to select all the things that apply to you. Every single one that you feel like applies to you. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of everybody seeing what's going on and understanding how this is impacting everybody, not just you.
It seems like this is multiple choice instead of multiple response. So I guess you can pick what applies to you most.
Most. Okay. Oops.
Yep.
Okay.
So
That's
whichever
fine.
you think affects you the most, I guess you can pick that. Okay. Lots of
Okay,
answers
good.
coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll read them out. So
Okay.
the majority seems to be between I have trouble waking up and I am bored if I am not being entertained by electronics. To be
Nice.
honest, that applies to me as well. I mean, I would imagine that's really common.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And you know what? That applies to me too, because I find myself, I actually play video games. I love playing video games, and it's kind of one of those things that I love doing. But if I'm not playing video games, I have my phone, I'm scrolling on social media, I'm looking at my emails, I'm checking for really good, yes, I play Roblox. And I, Arnav, yes. And I don't play Minecraft though. I have it, but I'm not very good at it. Anyway, a lot of times I'm looking for, Black Friday, if you're in the US, Black Friday deals right now, shopping, that kind of stuff. So yes, it's something that we tend to do, a little bit of self-soothing. So that's really a good awareness about what you're doing. Also, having trouble waking up or sleeping less than 8 hours. We're going to get into that and talk about kind of the impact of that and what you can do to kind of help you a little bit. So let's move on. We're going to end the poll now, and we're going to close this and move on. So we're going to talk about sleep. Okay, so one of the things that is really, really important for you to know is that sleep cleanses the brain of toxins that accumulate during waking hours. And what that means is, have you ever heard the feeling or heard the phrase, go to sleep, you'll feel better in the morning? Well, that's actually a physical thing. Your brain kind of starts sifting through all the thoughts, all the fears, all the feelings, that you have been experiencing during the day, all the fears, and kind of looks at, okay, what is something that needs to be handled? What is irrational or doesn't make sense or doesn't help this person, and kind of clears it away. So you can, you can wake up the next morning and feel better. Sometimes you're feeling agitated, you wake up and you feel better. So the benefit affects sleep on the beneficial effects of sleep are really important for attention, concentration. If you have any kind of issues with ADHD, this is a really good thing. You have to get enough sleep. Even just getting an additional hour of sleep over a couple nights can actually really benefit you. And also, what I found as an adult, when I'm sleep deprived, I can't make decisions. I get what's called decision fatigue. And sometimes kids can experience that, but a lot of times adults can experience that, where there's too many things. If I haven't gotten enough sleep, it's hard for me to even decide what to make for dinner. So I'm less creative. I'm not able to solve problems. And so I would say, so there is a question from Ahmed, would it be better to sleep for 3 hours or not sleep at all? Absolutely better to sleep for 3 hours. But Arnav gets 9 hours. That's great. Now, depending on your age, so generally speaking, kids tend to need at least 9 to 10 hours sleep under the age of 13. As you get older, you can sleep less, about 8 hours. But while you're sleeping, while you're growing, while your body is growing, it's really best to get at least 10 hours sleep. Sometimes if you're much younger, 8, 9, 12 hours sleep. So, as you get older, when you become an adult, after the age of, I say 15, 16, 8 hours is fine. Okay. So I would try to get a little bit more, even if it's 1 more hour sleep. I think that's really important. Exercise. Let's get physical. So you think, well, what does exercise have to do with the brain? It's everything. So increasing your heart pumps more oxygen to your brain. This aids in the release of hormones, the good hormones, which provide an excellent environment for the growth of brain cells. It promotes something called brain plasticity. So that means when you are sitting in class, either in person or Zoom, and your brain is like stuck, you feel like you're stuck, if you're able to kind of get up and move around a little bit, something happens in your brain where whatever that wall is that's causing you to be stuck actually can be removed. Or if you're doing exercise on a regular basis, that can also help you to remove those walls. So it helps to grow new neural connections. Also, I have also heard adults and kids who have a tendency towards depression or anxiety or get really anxious. If they exercise every day, they don't feel as anxious or depressed. So just to get up and move for like 30 minutes, even taking a walk, even playing soccer outside or handball or something, or just doing some exercises. So Arnav says to get at least 10,000 steps a day, it really helps. That's amazing. And, I know during this time when we're staying inside a lot, it's hard to do. So sometimes even just putting some music on, having a dance party, you get those 10,000 steps, you have fun, you enjoy yourself. So it's really good. Now, what kind of exercise? Well, so what they say, the experts say, is that anything cardiovascular, but then that's good. Also your mind body, like yoga, Tai Chi, and weight training. So those are 3 like types, but then truly it's anything that gets you moving and you have fun with. Going to ride your bike, stretching, swimming if you have access to a pool, anything that gets you moving. Because you know what, if you're enjoying it, you'll keep doing it. You won't focus on how long have I been doing this? Do I have to keep doing this? I know my kids really hate PE because it's just exercise that isn't fun. But as Arnav says, it feels good to have an achievement if you get something that you accomplish, plus a bonus if you like it. Okay, the next thing to help you with brain health is playing games. So we're talking mostly about non-video games. We're talking mostly about board games, memory games, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, Tetris, chess, anything that is a strategy game. So video games are okay if they promote active problem solving. And what that means is it's not passive. You are very actively engaged. And what's important is that this is causing you to think in a way that you don't normally think. So you're looking at crossword puzzles. You're trying to think up words. Tetris, you're moving your pieces around to figure out how it's going to fit. Chess is absolutely a strategy game. Video games are good. However, in only for short, specific periods of time. So if you're playing video games for 8 hours straight, or without taking breaks, or even if you are taking breaks and it's just you want to mix it up and do something else. That's a lot. An hour is good, and that's good. And as long as it is something where you have to strategize. So we're going to move on to some game resources. Now, these are games that are specifically meant for you to work on your brain. Now, so you want to do things that are interesting, exciting, but they're specifically focused to help your brain. And some of them are Lumosity. These are apps that you can get on your phone. Brain HQ is awesome. I've used that a lot. Elevate, Lumosity, Fit Brains Trainer. So now when you play a video game, say, for example, Roblox or Minecraft or that kind of thing, what it's doing is it's working on one aspect of your brain. It is going to help you in that area. When you work on an app such as Lumosity or Brain HQ, it's going to work on the whole gambit. It's going to work on your ability to navigate spatial relationships. It's going to give you help with your memory. It's going to give you help with recall. It's going to give you help with right brain, left brain switching. So that's why the apps are really good. So like I said, video games can help you in a very small area, but if you're not working on other areas, then it's really not as good just to play video games. So these are great, and they're fun too. I think they're fun. Some of them are really hard though. Brain HQ kind of shows you the things that you're like, wow, I'm not as good at this area. So then we have the next one that you're all going to probably hate. I know my kids do. Unplug and Be Bored. So constantly using devices rewires your brain to not be able to focus as much. Constantly using devices keeps you from being able to focus for a longer period of time. Being bored can help foster productivity and creativity. Now, here at Moonshot Jr., we're all about innovation, creativity. How do you think you're going to come up with these awesome ideas and products and moonshots that you want to create, if you're just on your device all day, you're gonna want to create something that's already been created. But if you're like sitting there thinking, not being engaged by a device, then your brain starts going in places that it wouldn't normally go. It allows you to sit and think about your current circumstances, self-reflect. It's often the spark for making real changes and improvements in your life. Some of the most innovative people and kids are ones that maybe don't even have access to screens. So they're able to sit and think about things that they can do to make the world better. You need a mind break. You really do. Stepping away from all screens, adults and kids. And boredom is actually a really good motivator to search for like novelty, in the pursuit of new ideas, new goals, thinking, wow, I think I want to learn how to play guitar, or I want to create my own holiday cards this year, or, whatever it is. And it also is really important to help you focus and self-regulate with the ability. It kind of is related to the ability to handle boredom. So learning to endure boredom at a young age is actually a really great preparation for developing self-control skills as an adult. So as an adult, we have to do boring things. It's just a fact of life. But the most important thing is that, you know what? I do boring things all the time, all day, but I don't get bored. I grew up, I didn't have devices. Yeah, I had TV, but that's it. And I got used to going outside and playing with nature, playing with my friends, riding bikes, coming up with stories, doing like role playing when we didn't even know what role playing was. So it has really helped me to be a more interesting person and be more interested in what's going on outside and around me. So it's really a good thing. While it feels like, from Ahmed, feels like you're going to go insane when you get bored, but you're not. You're going to be fine. Okay, we're going to talk about nutrition, eating. So diets that are high in refined sugars and preservatives are very harmful to the brain. They can promote inflammation and oxidative stress. So there's a lot of studies out there have found a connection between high refined sugars and impaired brain functions. So I know that when you eat sugar, you get hyper, or, parents go, okay, you go to the movies, you eat sugar, you eat popcorn, you eat sodas, and maybe later that night you can't get your homework done, or you can't sleep, you start having anxiety, or feeling depressed. It's the preservatives and sugar from your food that can actually cause that. So, but not only things that we know are bad for you, but also things like granola bars, yogurt, snack packs, juices that are marketed to kids have a lot of preservatives and can have sugar in them. So it's really important to be aware of that. And take it upon yourself to kind of start looking at ingredients. And if there's an ingredient in there that you can't pronounce, chances are it's not good for you. Not always, but sometimes. Good nutrition, yay! So this is whole foods. These are foods high in omega-3 oils, antioxidants, and really good anti-inflammatory properties to boost brain function. So these are, when I say whole foods, does anybody here know what a whole food is? Anybody? You can put it in the chat, or like whole food versus processed food. No? Okay. So a whole food is a food that is in its basically original form. So salmon, avocados, blueberries, nuts, green leafy vegetables, eggs. These are foods that haven't been highly processed, not a lot of things have been added to them. They don't have chemicals, they don't have sugars added. So when you are making food, or your family's making food that is in its original form, but just cooked or added, that's been, you've added some spices or some seasoning, but that is a whole food. Now, does anybody, what do you think? Do you think like a TV dinner or a frozen dinner is whole food? Anybody? You can put it in the chat. Anybody think a frozen dinner is whole food? No. Chances are not. There are some healthy whole food frozen dinners. It depends. Exactly, Aluna, exactly. So there's some good ones out there, but you really need to look at the ingredients, not the menu, the ingredients. But fruits and vegetables are excellent, and they're good snacks. You get crunchy carrots with hummus. That's very good for you. So just keep an eye out. It's better than, eating, goldfish or Chex Mix, or, I love little cherry tomatoes for a snack, and carrots with hummus and things like that. But I like my junk food too sometimes, but in limitation. Okay, we're moving on. Mindfulness. Now, I don't know about you, but that's become a word that has been very prevalent these days. And mindfulness is something that hopefully will be incorporated into classrooms very soon and into families. And when you're at home, it's really important what mindfulness is a kind of mental exercise for your brain. So it's based on meditation, but it helps you to focus on the present moment. So what scientists have actually used MRI scans to see how the brain changes when people practice mindfulness. Sometimes, and it can help with creativity, stress, memory, and then also can help you if you're in pain. So, obviously if you can't take medications, if you're allergic or what have you, then it's a really great way if you've hurt yourself to really get past the pain part of it. So the most important thing about mindfulness is that it's about taking the time. It's about awareness, being present, and there are lots of great ways to practice mindfulness. But we're going to watch this quick little video that will show you about how mindfulness is being used in schools. And I don't know if any of you know who Goldie Hawn is. She's an actress, but she created this company called Mind Up that brings mindfulness to schools. So let's go ahead. Oops. Oh, I see the question. What about staying on YouTube or your computer 5 hours a day? Is that good or not? I would say not. And the reason I say that is because while YouTube is a great resource for learning, what ends up happening with YouTube is that you get it's passive brain power. And what that means is you're just watching, you're not participating most of the time. 90% of the time, unless you go on YouTube and you're specifically looking for projects that you can do, or recipes or lessons or things like that. But in general, you get recommendations. And it's actually a little bit, I don't want to say dangerous, but it can lead you down a hole into YouTube, into where you just are seeing things that you're searching. And it gives you only one perspective. Now, if you're looking at things that are controversial or political or what have you, you're going to get just a very small slice of information. If it's entertainment, then, while it's not necessarily going to, damage you, but it's not good for your brain. It's definitely not good for your brain. So I hope that answers your question. You want to take breaks and you want to do something that's not on YouTube for a while. You want to maybe take a break after an hour and then you can come back, or start looking at things on YouTube that maybe can help you to learn a new skill.
Katie, it
That
looks
sound good?
like I found that video on YouTube, so maybe I can
I have
share
it.
it.
I have it. I have it.
Oh, okay,
I'm ready
perfect.
because I cut it down a little bit. So I'm gonna share my screen. Wait, okay, there we go.
You just gotta click on optimize for screen sharing. It should play now. Perfect.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay.
It's gonna be a little laggy if you can like click on share screen and click on optimize for video. Like there should be a checkbox.
Where's?
You gotta stop screen sharing and start it again.
Okay. Got it. So if I click on, oh, I see.
Yeah,
no,
share
who can
computer
share?
sound and optimize screen share for video clip. Both of those.
Doesn't have it for me.
Okay.
It does not have it. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe I can.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Okay, go for it. It's okay. Well, let's try it, and let me see if there's another way. Nope. Okay.
Okay, I'll share my screen
right.
and you can maybe like tell me where to toggle to. It's a 5-minute video, so maybe like we can.
Well, this one is I cut it down to 3, so that's why. Let's try it and see if it's. Can you hear it? If you do, can you hear it? Okay, go ahead. It's fine. Go ahead and screen.
One breath through your nose.
Okay, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel it go all the way through your body.
On any given day,
Hold it and release it.
at any given time. At Basalt Elementary, nestled in Colorado's Roaring Fork Valley,
2 more big breaths on your own.
you can find students taking a brain break. It's a cornerstone of Mind Up, a program dedicated to bringing mindfulness into the classroom.
We're not worried about anything because we're just focused on breathing.
Basalt Elementary is one of the thousands of schools that have adopted Mind Up over the past 10 years. Mind Up founder and creator, actress Goldie Hawn, believes that when children better understand how their brains work, they can better handle their emotions.
We felt that teaching them about their brain and how that would work and how they actually know that a brain is plastic and you can really move it the way you want to by thinking about things long enough, that they would feel more optimistic. And then realizing that an ability to be optimistic opens the brain up and children can learn better.
So Mind Up classes integrate learning about different parts of the brain into their lessons.
We need to learn about our brains. Amygdala passes information to the prefrontal cortex.
As a neuroscientist myself, I was intrigued by all this. So I decided to meet Hawn and Principal Suzanne Wheeler Del Piccolo to see how it works.
The idea of weaving this through these students' day, that was really important to you, right?
I wanted it to be woven in to the tapestry of their day.
So today we're going to practice just slowing down and eating.
It's even present when they eat.
We're going to use a little itty bitty raisin, and you're not going to do anything with it except hold it in your hand and really look at it, examine it, and feel it.
What do you think a child will take away from that?
So that is activating the brain, calming the brain down, but keeping it in a single point focus. Then they learn how to eat. They learn how to savor. They learn how their taste buds are alive. They learn about how the body works.
When you taste, what are you using?
Your tongue.
Your tongue. Very good. And are you going to be eating dirt and rocks?
No.
No, what are you going to eat?
Food.
Food. And why?
Because when you eat, it makes you have energy, and when you have energy, it makes your blood flow, and when your blood flows, you can think better.
Excellent. Let's take a moment now and enjoy.
They are forced to slow down and focus when they eat. Hardly anybody, adults or children, does that anymore.
Do you think you'd eat as much If you ate it the way that you just did?
Instead of just putting it in your mouth and like just eating it, you like savor it and actually make a good use out of it.
How do you describe mindfulness?
Mindfulness is very simple, really. It's the ability to focus, but it also allows you to live in the moment. You feel like a child. Your eyes actually can look like a child because you're seeing things that you've never seen before.
It sounds really good. I mean, who doesn't want that, right?
I think that a lot of people don't know how because it's a technique.
Goldie Hawn says she was always a happy person growing up, but she hit a roadblock herself when she stumbled into stardom.
Okay.
I mean, life at 21.
Okay, we can stop. Okay. So let's go back to, let me see, I gotta share. Okay. Oh, so here are a couple of the resources that if you want to learn a little bit more about mindfulness or practice it at home, these are really good if you are having trouble falling asleep, if you're feeling anxious, if your body is tense. So the Calm app, so it has really good guided meditation, relaxation exercises, stop, breathe, and think. It's an app for youth with some meditations for mindfulness and compassion, which is really good, especially for yourself, having compassion for yourself. If you're feeling anxious, sometimes it's really hard to be nice to yourself. Why am I feeling this way? I feel so stupid. Why, that self-talk. So you can really calm down and go, it's okay. I'm going to be okay. And really be able to be there. I know it's uncomfortable sometimes if you're feeling anxious, but this mindfulness can definitely help. So let's put it all together. So your brain is just a part of you. It's not all of you, but it's not a separate entity. Everything you do in your life affects your brain. So your sleep affects your brain, your exercise level affects your brain, what you're doing, how you're engaging in the world, the games that you play, and then the games that you don't play, like how you can sit down and have dinner together without all your devices, putting your phones away and talking, having discussions, talking about your day, what happened, what didn't happen, what your worries are, eating nutritious food, and then really taking time to be in the moment with mindfulness, whether it's doing something very specific like a meditation or just tasting your food or taking a walk and noticing how much nature you can take in or how many birds you see or counting blue cars or whatever it is that can bring you right into the moment. And so now I have I want to see if anybody has any questions about this and questions about what they can do to have better brain health. So, anyone?
Students, you can raise your hands or you can type your questions in chat.
Yeah. Let's see. You like that movie? Okay, great. Mrs. Claus, yes. Yeah, she's great.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
This is a really interesting topic considering I studied philosophy in college. And
Yes.
even though we primarily did Western philosophy, I was really interested in Eastern philosophy. And a
Yes.
lot of Eastern philosophy tends to revolve around this practice of mindfulness. So it seems to be like something that is like really catching on these days, and like it has been catching on for the last couple of years. So is this something our students can do at any time, anywhere, or is this something really accessible?
Yes, it is. And that's the thing, is that mindfulness isn't a isn't something that has a really strict guideline. It's not something you have to do a certain way. You can, sometimes it's just, you know, being with your own thoughts. It's being present, being, you know, lying in bed and counting, counting ceiling tiles, if you're, or whatever it is. I know for me, I have my own personal spiritual practice of chanting. And it's something that, I do. It's very external, but it keeps my brain focused. And it allows me to be really present with myself and my thoughts. I don't, thoughts are thoughts. I don't try to get rid of them. Even when you're practicing mindfulness and you're or praying or chanting or just meditating, and all of a sudden you're thinking, this is stupid. I can't do this. Why am I doing this? I'm bored. And all you have to do is just notice those thoughts and not judge them. It's hard and it takes some practice, but you can be doing this while you're sitting outside on the grass. You can be doing this at the grocery store with your parents. All you have to do is notice one thing. You notice how your feet touch the ground for each walk, for each step. A lot of the Eastern philosophies, like you think about Tai Chi, which is all about slowing down movement, how slow you can be in your movements. So I really think it's something that every single person on this planet can do. And it's just a matter of noticing and not being distracted from whatever it is you're doing. If you're washing dishes or you're doing chores, think about how the water feels on your hands. Think about, is that soap feels really nice. And just like, it's just paying attention to whatever it is you're doing. I'm sweeping. How does the broom touch the floor? Or vacuuming? Can I get exactly straight lines in the carpet when I'm vacuuming? So it's really, really super easy. And it doesn't require you to have any special belief system. It doesn't ask you to pick a religion. It doesn't ask you. It's just being in your own body and present. So that's a great question, Mahir.
And no, that's a really good answer too, because I personally, I spend like a good amount of time just like you said, it's just about noticing, and I have ADHD, so I really like the practice because it helps me be centered and calm and focused throughout the day. It's like a muscle that you gotta work out, and you gotta like increase your focus day by day.
Yes.
To the point where I actually I don't feel the need for medication anymore because I'm able to focus without any external substance, and it's really cool because how you were saying that you don't really have to like chase your thoughts or sensations. They're more like
Right.
you just observe them come and go. And
Exactly.
in Japanese, in their Zen practice, they just call these thoughts and sensations as guests, or as clouds
Yeah.
that just come and pass. You just
Yes.
you just observe them and you let them pass. And
Exactly.
like you said, it doesn't really need a belief system. You just have to be in the moment. That's all it's about. And it's really cool because a
Exactly.
lot of the Silicon Valley tech CEOs these days are actually spending time doing this. Even Oprah had
Yes.
a section where she was saying that in her entire office building, twice a day there's just an alarm that goes off, and for 15 minutes everyone's just silent and appreciating the present moment. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Exactly. And that's another thing, appreciation, doing like a nightly appreciation. What are the things that you've experienced during the day that you appreciate? And Arnav was asking about ADHD. Now, I just want to answer this because I'm sure Mahir could answer it too, but my daughter has ADHD, and it is not good or bad. It just is. It's a neuro difference. It's just a brain is wired differently, and everybody that has ADHD experiences it in different ways. My daughter has inattentive ADHD, so she has real trouble getting distracted and staying focused. Some people have issues with impulsivity. They can't. They have to blurt out answers or can't stop moving or what have you. And so it's not about like you have to be better or different. It's about learning how to manage whatever it is that's going on in a way that you can be able to feel focused and be able to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish in your life. And, whether you take medication or not, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. It's just to help you to be able to do that. And like Mahir says, this is all the things that we talked about today are all things that will help any type of neuro person, whether it's you have a different way of thinking than somebody else, or you have what's called a disability or issues that will help you or that will hinder you from really moving forward in your life. So the mindfulness is very important, but also some of the other things, not being on electronics all day, your diet, your exercise. These are all things that can help everybody, no matter what your neurodiverse mind needs. So I think that's great. Alona was saying every night she and her mom pray and have a good rest every night. And I think that's good for you. And that's great. So you're thinking about praying, you're thinking of, I don't know what you do to pray, but chances are you're thinking you're grateful, you're praying about your gratitude, what you're thankful for, what you want to happen. So you're just stopping and calming down. So that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad we shared this today. And students, if you want to learn more about mindfulness, you can always head on over to YouTube. There's this ABC video that I pulled up that talks about what mindfulness is. So I'll put it in the chat and you can watch it after the session. And I think this was a really enlightening session because we got to know so much more about how we can better manage our brain health, especially considering the times we live in today. And this was really good. So I think we will start concluding the session today.
Yes.
And give me one sec. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Again, thank you for such a fantastic session today, KD. And so before I close the session, I'd like to talk a bit more about the Innovator program. Apart from the STEAM-oriented curriculum in our one-to-one private sessions and classroom sessions, we also offer private and expert sessions, college admissions counseling, and resume writing. We have already started our video creation series with Nick Paquette. And basically, in a nutshell, this is what our Innovator program offers. And other than the weekend group sessions that you all attend right now, we also have industry expert sessions, one-to-one sessions, and the video making course that's currently ongoing. And shortly, we will start with a creative writing course, so be on the lookout for that. And again, finally, thank you for such a really fantastic session today. I really enjoyed it. And this was something that really hit home for me because I could relate to what you were discussing. And I'm sure it gave us all an insight into how one can really manage their brain health and be more mindful and be more in the present moment and be more aware of what you need to do to take care of yourself, right?
Yes.
So thank you for all the students who attend for attending this session and being so interactive, letting us know your experiences and letting us know what you go through. And the level of response has been great. And if you have any questions or concerns regarding our program at Moonshot Jr., you can email us at inquiry@moonshotjr.com. And with that, we will close today's session. Thank you, Katie, for coming in
Yay.
today. And yep, we will see you tomorrow.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.